The American public is being brainwashed. And as long as bread and circuses rules the day, as long as media keeps us concentrated on Justin Bieber's monkey or the size of Kim Kardashian's ass, you know, we're in grave danger of never getting to the root problems that are facing us. I became an American citizen over 30 years ago because I didn't want to be the kind of person that was lobbing, you know, grenades from the side. You know, I wanted to be a part of this country. This is a fantastic, beautiful, wonderful country that you have here. I see it differently than you do because I'm English. I see it differently. This is an incredibly beautiful country with full of hope and optimism. But there are some people in this world that don't want it that way. They want it their way. And we have to deal with this. So I'm very pleased to be a musician and be able to speak my mind because this is America. I can speak my mind. You don't have to listen, but I can speak my mind, right? So America's a very beautiful place, you know. Even what you're watching on CNN and Fox News, it's still a beautiful place, and let's not forget that. Music saved my life. When I was younger, it actually saved my life, and I'm very glad to be here alive and kicking. We've always wanted our music to be compelling and intriguing and to touch people in deep and emotional ways. We all know that the music business has changed radically in the last decade, but music is what we do. It all comes back to basics. You have to start with a good song, right?
But it seems like you've always been an activist, even since you were a young man. How did that happen?
I'm English. My country was almost bombed out of existence twice within 80 years. It's a different way of growing up. God forbid it would have ever have happened, but if America had been bombed like London and Manchester were bombed, you'd have a different opinion about going to war so quickly. So my point is, when you grew up in a time when you didn't know whether your house was going to be there tomorrow, you didn't know whether your friends were going to be alive, you have to get on with the job. What's the job? Let's do it with the most dignity and the most fun that we can. Let's get the job done. It was very easy for me. A lot of people say, wasn't it difficult doing all that, leaving your bank account and leaving all your friends and your band and your, you know, I was getting divorced at the time, so leaving your wife and leaving your parents and your sisters. And I say, absolutely not. I'd heard what me and David and Stephen sounded like. I'd heard that sound. And you're all musicians, so you know exactly what I'm saying. I had to follow that sound with my heart. I knew the very night that we first sang together in Joni's living room, it was obvious to me what I had to do with the rest of my life. Whatever sound Crosby, Stills and Nash has vocally was born in less than 30 seconds. David, after dinner, tapped Stephen on the arm and he said, hey, play Willie that song that we were just working on. And they sang two-part, a song called You Don't Have to Cry. It was on the first Crosby, Stills and Nash record, a beautiful song. And they got to the end of it and I said, wow, Stephen, that's an incredible song. Do me a favor, sing it one more time. And they looked at each other and they shrugged and they sang it again. And they came to the end of the second time and I said, all right, bear with me. One more time. Play it one more time. In the first two times that they sang it, I remember every word. I watched their body language. I watched the way they breathed. I watched everything. And when I put my voice with theirs, we had to stop the song. We had to start laughing. It was ridiculous. I mean, think of that vocal sound. And it happened not after months or weeks or years of rehearsal. It happened within 30 seconds. I had to follow that sound. So it was a very easy decision for me. I mean, I had regrets. I mean, Alan Clark had been my friend since I was 6 years old, you know. Leaving him behind was painful for me. But I had no choice. You have to follow your heart. Your heart knows what's good, and your heart knows what's bad. And I've always taken the path that makes me feel better. And that this instance was no different. I wanted that sound. I wanted those songs. I wanted this vocal blend. I wanted to change the world, and I knew that we could do it small, even in a small way. You've got to understand, the momentum of this planet is insane. And to move it a microsecond, a micro degree, takes an enormous amount of work. But it can be done, no doubt about it.